Hey, I'm Lyle Henley. I'm Director of Performance here at UAB Football. You're here at Legacy Pavilion in Birmingham, Alabama. I've been at UAB since we brought the program back in 2016. I've been in the industry for 25 years. Before I came here, I was 8 years a college strength conditioning coach. Also spent 12 years in the private industry. You know, we had researched many GPS companies. I was very familiar with KINEXON, with the basketball, with what they were doing in that field. Once I heard there was a product that was going to be more focused on the field sports with football, it was something I knew that we were interested in and we were going to take a shot and look at. We had demoed many GPS products. With KINEXON, for us, it was the ease of the product, of being able to use it, the efficiency of the product, especially post-practice. Instead of having to sit there and download something and come back, we wear a lot of hats as strength conditioning coaches. We have a lot of responsibilities. So for us to be able to go in there and have our data right then as the practice ends and be able to take those decisions to the coaches right then, it saved us about 2 or 3 hours a day, which was, probably the biggest decision moving forward why we had chosen this product. So the project managers helped us specifically in the beginning to being able to learn how to use the product, how to apply things, something as simple as charging the product up, getting it on the players, collecting the data and things of that forth. Once we got comfortable with that, the sports science crew came in and really helped us sift through the data, kind of change some of the metrics where maybe we need to take a look at one of these metrics as opposed to this, and kind of changed our thought process of how we're evaluating these guys and using these metrics to make informed decisions. The number one thing we try to preach is availability with our athletes. So injury prevention was the biggest thing, to be able to sell. Safety is something that sells big in what we do, especially through our athletic department, through the coaches. And like I said before, with making an informed decision on practice habits and different adjustments leading up to have these guys peak at the right time of the year, it was an easy sell for us. One of the cool things I saw with the KINEXON devices, especially in our training, we have something called Energy System Development, or ESD, and that's the first GPS I'd seen to be able to give back heart rate. So we look at heart rate variability and things of that, rides up and down of when we're doing our training with Energy Systems Development. That was something that was huge, with the product that we hadn't found with any other product. From a pure training standpoint, looking at practice, we look at something we like to call, a lot of people refer to it, separation. So if I'm able to, during practice, look at these guys, say it's a wide receiver and DB, and a wide receiver creates separation. A lot of people refer to it as separation velocity. And that's being able to get to 13.5 to 15 miles an hour in 1 second. And that is 63% to 65% of their max velocity in 1 second. So if I can create that separation and I can go back and just pop right on the iPad and look at that speed spline and see that they've created that in that time, that lets us know that we're training in the right variables, and it's a metric moving forward that I think is invaluable when you start looking at real data and to see if what you're doing works. The thing that we want to be able to do is bridge the gap to the position coach and provide them with some metrics that made sense on what we're trying to accomplish, and things that you would, position by position, give them the top 3 guys at that position in practice or in a game, and things we look at. So the 3 metrics we came up with was max accelerations, it was high speed accelerations, the number of those, and then the distance or the amount of time at high accelerations that you were able to maintain that. And once we broke that into the top 3 of each thing, you started seeing what made the guys not only great athletes, but great football players that were given maximum effort time after time and again. thing I've enjoyed the most about using the system is being able to get some points across to our players that we had been able to do before, right? So different things I was working on, and accelerations, decelerations, different types of metrics and things that I've been trying to, place the importance on with players, being able to show them that and being able to communicate to our staff that these are important things that we need to be looking at. And once you're able to, after taking weeks and weeks and months of data and compile a reason why, create a why of which you're doing things, that's been the biggest thing for me, is being able to explain kind of our purpose of what we're doing. You can't keep those guys out of your office now. Everybody wants to come in. Of course, they want to see miles per hour, who's the fastest guy in practice. That actually, the same thing with like our velocity training, the GPS, when being able to see those miles per hour, it created intent. So guys would actually move a little bit faster in practice. And in games, it's always a competition where, we're generating that top 5 miles per hour speed. But then once we started moving forward and explaining to these guys the different other metrics to look at as well, they just started becoming more informed, and it got them more in contact and generated with what we're trying to do. So huge thing with the players. Our coaches definitely sell to our recruits and our players the care that we put into from a safety standpoint, and everybody wants to know the technology that you're using. For us, we still have an old school mentality. We still train, we still are blue collar and we like to work, but we still train in a new type standpoint. So what it does, it helps us to make all of our decisions, hold us accountable for what we're doing, helps us to make more informed decisions, helps us to make the decisions faster. And anything that is efficient, a recruiter, a young athlete that understands technology nowadays, it's complete buy-in from the very beginning. For us, we have our graduate assistants, and some of our assistants go out and start putting in devices into the vests. We have the vest, or whether they're going to put them on the shoulder pads for that day, depending on what type of training we're going to do. We actually elect to load them and get them loaded up outside, so the players come outside and pick them up, put them on, as opposed to putting them in the locker and have them ready. So we have a good system for that. And it's been an easy transition for us. It's just like putting on your jersey or putting on your shoes for these guys now. In the beginning, it's a little bit different, but once you get through a week or two of training, then you're good to go. You don't have to be a sports scientist to use this. It's just like the amount of technology that you put in these devices in your home. There's always going to be a support or tech line to reach out to, and you would not get that because you didn't have an extensive degree in some type of like technology or anything like that. So being able to reach out to these guys and have anything, and not only of not understanding, a lot of times I don't really know how to explain it as well to the coach. And then I reach out to the sports science staff and said, have you thought about it this way? And it gives us another avenue to be able to bridge that gap, as we said. And so it's you don't have to have that background. It does help to have a little bit of the knowledge, but you can definitely accomplish your goals without having to have that. Any coaching staff that preaches being able to finish at the right time, or be able to peak at the right. That's always the biggest thing. Our guys, are they strong at the end of the year? Are they fast at the end of the year? Are they available at the end of the year? No program does not want those things. And to be able to have those things consistently, and not just hit lightning in a bottle one year, but consistently, this is a very great product for any program. For a football program, if you want to play at the highest level and being able to peak at the right time and being able to have as many guys available as possible, then it is a must-have. Definitely a must-have.